fantastic.
Rock writes in and says, I'm 47 years old and have been a mostly casual gamer since my youth. I've never gotten into RPGs, but I purchased Child of Light on my PS4 based on a friend's recommendation and Vince's review. It took me a bit to shift from Resogun survival mode to Child of Light, but I'm glad I did. The storytelling, level advancement, crafting, art, music, and especially the turn-based combat has made this one of my favorite games in recent memory. So, bearing in mind that I'm pretty new to this genre, can you recommend any similar RPGs for the PS4 or Vita for this older gamer may enjoy? Thank you and beyond.
So, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, Child of Light might actually be the only RPG on PlayStation 4 right now, like literal turn-based role-playing game.
I haven't
about
played
it.
one. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, think about it.
I'm
like,
thinking.
What?
I'm going.
I can't think of anything. Yeah. This is exhilarating airtime.
Yeah,
I know for
they like
listeners,
this.
but- yeah, they like
they're
this.
either listening with bated breath
Or they're
they're
screaming.
screaming at their
No,
steering wheel.
yeah,
How
and
are
they're
they
probably,
forgetting
they might be
blank
screaming,
game?
but now Vita is Vita, on the other hand, is a fertile playground.
Yeah.
for role playing games.
Yeah,
It is
absolutely.
the place to go.
I mean, the
for
thing, we've
role-playing
beaten the
games.
drum for years now. Persona 4 Golden. That's immediately where I start you with a JRPG turn-based game with a great story and everything else. Characters you love, great colors.
Yep.
But there's so many more.
Characters you love, great colors.
Great colors.
Gotta love those colors.
Bullet points.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't thought about it, but Child of Light is a good starting point for people that haven't played RPGs because even though it's actually somewhat of a deep game, it's not oppressively hard. It has a really engaging battle system in terms of like interrupting people's attacks and stuff, which is actually kind of unique. And the leveling is so comically off. Like it happens so comically often.
It's really fast.
like that. Like it makes you feel like you're really advancing. Because in real, I hate to tell you, what's this gentleman's name?
This is Rock.
Rock from Manchester.
Manchester's Rock.
RPGs make you work for it, and Child of Light really doesn't. So, I would recommend a number of Vita games, even PSP games that you can play on Vita.
Yeah.
Ys is a good one to try out. Memories of Celceta. Final Fantasy X's on there if you're into that. I'm not really super into that game.
Speaking of the Final Fantasies, if you want to give it a shot, then you go to the PSP library and grab Final Fantasy Tactics or Tactics Ogre. Let us play together.
Yes, let us cling together.
Such a dumb name for such a spectacular video
I
game.
really actually like that name a lot.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Can we cling together?
Yeah, we could. I mean, that's what I'm asking you if we can cling. Let us cling together, sir.
Sorry, my water bottle got in the way.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah, so War of the Lions and Let Us Cling Together are two great recommendations. I'd actually go and play. If you've never played those games, quit your job or school.
Yeah.
And
Leave it all
charge your PlayStation Vita and just throw it all on the line, Greg, because Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the best games of all time, and Tactics Ogre is not far behind it.
And I'm actually, while this may sound blasphemous, going to slightly reverse that. I think Final Fantasy Tactics is also one of the best games of all time, and Tactics Ogre is slightly above it. Both great, both great. But I had a friend, you mentioned lose your job. I had a friend in college lost his job to Final Fantasy Tactics. He just stopped going to work. Yes, he just stopped going to work. So
Well, where did he work?
He worked in the cafeteria at the
Nice.
college. But he lost
Job
his job
sucked
to that.
anyway.
Yep.
Funny note about Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together. The final game I played on my PSP.
Oh, nice.
That was
a
the
good way to
last
send it
game
off.
I ever played it.
That was a good way to send it off.
My PSP was like all screwed up at that point. Like half the screen was like all color warped because I like bent it at some point. And I remember playing it at GDC. So this was when did 2011 it probably came out. It was like really late PSP game.
It may have been 10.
10?
I think it was 10.
Yeah, so that was it.
Yeah.
And I just adored that game.
It
was so good. It's such a good game, and it was the last game like that we've gotten. Really, like that. I know some people like Fire Emblem and stuff like that. I played Fire Emblem on 3DS. Not crazy about it. It's different, and the graphics are just like, I'm not a graphics guy, but just awful.
Fire
Just
Emblem.
absolutely awful.
Fire Emblem is a different kind of tactical
Right,
game.
exactly.
Fire Emblem is almost a battlefield game. It's almost Advance Wars, not quite.
Right, exactly.
Whereupon Tactics Ogre is a tactical role playing game.
Right.
It's a different kind of game.
Right, and I liked it. Yeah, it's a little more free and open.
Yeah.
I liked Fire Emblem fine, but it didn't grab me like when I start playing Final Fantasy Tactics, which I play every few years, or Tactics Ogre, which I am sure I will go back to at some point. I can't stop playing those games. Like, I'm addicted to time, just hours. Just go.
Tactics Ogre lets you go back and do it again and again and again without it. It takes all the annoying parts out. Want to see all the endings? Just back up to the last node. Don't replay any content and get to play all the stuff you missed. And it lets you do that over and over and over again. So if you're a completionist, you can see every ending without repeating a single battle. It's great. It's a wonderful bit of design.
So there you go, Rock.
Here's the one thing I want to toss out on Rock's question about this year. Now, he says PS4 or Vita. I'm still holding out hope that South Park will come to Vita. Or, I'm sorry, to PS4.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Vita could run it.
No, I agree, because the PS3 can barely run it. But I'm talking about, a Superfied HD version. I think that'd be a great fit.
I'd play it again.
I love that game. I'd totally play South Park again. I had such a great time with that game. Such a great time.
Hilarious.
With that game.
It is. It was my favorite game of the year. Until Shovel Knight came out.
Shovel
But it's my second favorite game of the year. I think my 5 favorite games of the year are, now that I played Valiant Hearts, in order, it would go Shovel Knight, South Park, Child of Light, Danganronpa, and then Valiant Hearts. Would probably be my top 5.
That's pretty rad.
I still have South Park up front. Behind it, I probably have Valiant Hearts. Here's the weird thing, and I know I need to give this a better chance. I didn't like Child of Light. I started playing it on Vita, but I started playing it on Vita on a trip. So I was on the plane and immediately started getting sleepy. And I don't know how much I can blame the game for that it put me to sleep. But it's my traditional problem with RPGs, right? Like, I don't like that world. I don't like fairy tales. I'm not interested in the characters, so I'm already just like.
All right, so you're all set.
You're kind of screwed on that game.
Stop talking. Let's just do stuff.
Oh, dude, the dialogue's awesome.
Well, the dialogue is awesome, but it's a fairy tale. If you don't like fairy tales, you are screwed.
It's brilliant. Same thing happened to me with Wolf Among Us. I was like, all right, I didn't like the comics Fable, but I'm gonna like this game. I'm gonna try it again. This game. Episode 1, I'm like checking the watch. I'm like, how long is this? Episode 2, I'm like forcing myself through. Episode 3 came out, installed it, went to play, and I'm like, no, I don't enjoy this game, and I've never gone back. Just haven't.
That's too bad. I mean, we all like different things, so it's actually pretty cool. But you're kind of doomed. I feel like on Child of Light, if you don't like fairy tales, a game that's delivered in iambic pentameter, you are just probably SOL.
You're really missing out, dude. I think that game is brilliantly written. Like some people are like, "What is going on in this game?" And like, well, I can't. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Like, there's nothing like this.
A game that pays attention to how the prose is laid out. Yeah, that's like, beautiful. It's wonderful. They had a writer on staff. Holy crap!
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool. That is what makes that, like, the combat's awesome and stuff. But that's actually what makes that game special.
The narration.
Yeah, it's the narration
and the fact that the writing and the narration are woven together the way they are, and the dialogue. It was so well done.
So you might as well just uninstall it.
Yeah, probably not gonna ever get back into it.